Hi, this is Nick Freitas, and welcome back to Making the Argument. Today, we're going to be discussing, we're going to be talking about the PRO Act and Biden's infrastructure bill, but more than that, we're going to be talking about how politicians talk about their bills and how the media often reports on their bills, provided that it's a Democrat that's sponsoring the legislation. So in order to do this, I want to frame this up correctly. Because what you hear a lot from politicians when they're describing their policies or when they're describing their bills is their intentions, right? And the same thing when the press reports on a Democrat bill, it's typically, look at all these wonderful intentions, right? And then they just automatically assume that whatever their intentions are, that's what's going to be accomplished through the bill, okay? So I'm going to give you an entirely true statement, and I want you to tell me what you think of when I tell you my intentions. And then I want you to think about how you feel about how I plan to actually carry out those intentions, right? All right, but this is a totally true statement. I'm not lying about anything. Ready? Okay, as a politician, I'm going to promise to lower your property taxes, to increase the fuel efficiency of your vehicle, and to make sure that you never have to mow your lawn again. Now, as you think about those three things, those all sound great. Right? Who wouldn't want those things? And I mean, after all, here I am offering them to you. But the most important question is not, okay, those all sound like good outcomes. Those all sound things I like. How do you plan to do it? Oh, no problem. Ready? I'm going to lower your property taxes by burning your house to the ground. Because if I burn your house down, the value of your property goes down, and so you pay less in property taxes. I'm going to increase your fuel efficiency by replacing the engine in your car with a hamster. Right? Just pedals. You're going to use pedals now because that's going to increase your efficiency, right? You went from using a lot of fuel to no fuel. And then finally, in order to make sure that you never have to mow your lawn again, what am I going to do? I'm just going to pave over your grass. Now, go back to what my intentions were, what my promise was. Everything I said was true, right? But would you want me to do any of those things, right? If that was the mechanism I was going to use in order to get you to the promise I've made, would you want any of those things? Probably not. I'm going to wager and say, of course not. And the reason why is because the benefits of what I've talked about don't outweigh the cost associated with how I plan to implement the policy, right? But if all I talk about is the intentions, and if all the press reports on is the intentions, the nice sounding outcomes, without actually focusing on what they're actually going to implement, well, then you can vote for someone with a whole lot of really bad ideas. And that's what I really want to focus as we're looking at the PRO Act, because we're going to use this as an example, but it applies to pretty much any piece of legislation you can look at. All right, like I've said before, politicians do not legislate intentions. They write laws, right? They don't so much solve problems as they offer trade-offs. And then you get to decide, or you should have to decide whether or not you like that trade-off.